The brave NYPD chief who went viral after leaping over a fence to chase down the Gracie Mansion bomb suspects is now breaking his silence.
We just immediately begin running towards this threat. Right? We see this happening. We see this device. We know we have to do something. It's one of those things you can never let your guard down. You never know when it's going to happen. This is what we train for. This is what we prepare for. And fortunately, that day, the entire department just sprung into action and did what we were supposed to do. And, I think we achieved the best possible outcome.
A remarkable person, a remarkable moment, and that picture just captures it all. But meantime, look at this. Mayor Zoran Mamdani facing heat for inviting anti-Israel activist Mahmoud Khalil, who is facing deportation for alleged green card fraud, to his home. One New York Post op-ed reading, quote, having the two finest at a Gracie Mansion meal the next evening would have signaled major respect for the men and women in blue who keep the city safe, and a rejection of the hateful brand of Islam that inspired the suspects.
Joining us now, Fox News contributor and senior writer for the Washington Examiner, Joe Concha. Joe, what do you find more disturbing? The fact that the mayor did not invite these hero cops to dinner at the mansion, at the mayor's home that these cops were ultimately protecting, or that Mamdani could not care less about the optics of inviting a Hamas sympathizer the very next day to dinner instead?
Wow, those aren't very good choices now, are they, Todd? I think in the end, Zoran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, does not care about the optics. This is all intentional. As Freud once said, there are no accidents. There are no consequences. This was intentional. This sent a signal to everybody in New York and around the country and the world, quite frankly, that this mayor sympathizes with, obviously, the wrong side here. If the mayor was going to have dinner with anyone, it should have been any and all members of the New York City Police Department who literally save lives, especially Chief Aaron Edwards, who we just heard from in that soundbite. This guy ran towards possible death in one of the most heroic things you'll ever see to protect the people that he swore to protect. And then Zoran Mamdani, as we saw in his statements over the weekend after these bombs were nearly detonated or found in the back of a car near Gracie Mansion, the first things he talked about was Islamophobia and anti-Muslim rhetoric before he ever got to the part about, oh, yeah, these are ISIS sympathizers who tried to literally kill people in New York City in a rerun of the 2013 Boston bombings. If you're a New Yorker right now, you don't feel very safe, Todd, Carly, as far as who's running the city and where his sympathies lie. That is certainly for certain.
Yeah, I mean, I think this op-ed just makes such a fantastic point. And we're talking about two police officers, and one was captured in this incredible image of him literally leaping over a fence to try and guard an area that the mayor lives in. And he didn't know if there was more IEDs involved in the situation or if these terrorist sympathizers had a suicide vest on. He just went in there and did it anyway and potentially protected many more people. So that's one group in this narrative. And the other is somebody who, I guess at the very best description, could be considered an anti-Israel activist. Some would call him a Hamas sympathizer. And I think the bottom line here is really which group gets a seat at the table, quite literally, in terms of the mayor's priorities and what this signals moving forward.
Right, Carly. And you're right. Who has a seat at the table? Well, it's Khalid, who literally was running protests at Columbia University. And if you want to protest Israel or any sort of government posture towards them, well, that's fine. But this is far. You could have that person for dinner. Don't do it the day after. Obviously, this terror attack should have warranted quite frankly, we talk about the Canyon of Heroes, Todd. Remember the New York Yankees where, they would have a ticker tape parade for people? That is who we should be celebrating in that kind of fashion. The New York City Police Department, who has been treated so poorly under, obviously, other people like Bill de Blasio, the mayor here, and now Zoran Mamdani. These are the people that are keeping this city together. And instead, when you see images like you see on your screen right now, it's why so many people, hundreds of thousands, are fleeing New York City, citizens, because they just don't feel safe here anymore, and they rather go to places where the mayor appreciates law enforcement over the type of people that he has literally at Gracie Mansion for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, we've hit the main point of this, but a sub point. If you do this and save me in my house, I mean, I understanding he wasn't there at the time, but like, you're coming to dinner at my house within 24 hours without a doubt.
Yeah.
I just don't.
At least
I don't
more than
understand.
a verbal thank you.
Exactly. Joe Concha, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.